Today we have Mr. Indravadan Shah, who is the founder of Raaga Music Therapy, a therapy that uses Indian classical music to heal physical, mental, and medical issues. Can you please introduce yourself in your own words?
Hi, this is Indravadan Shah, and I have founded this company just from my own experience of music and how it helps me. So I have felt that the same can be applicable to the rest of the people in the society. So I formed this company and now making my efforts, to study more on this and do more research and associations, with the related groups and people in the field.
What inspired you to start using music therapy?
As I stated, my own personal experience and my love for Indian classical music uh, and how it helped me in some stress situations while during my business career, my employment career in IBM early days. So I felt that was a major inspiration for me to start this.
How long did it take to set up this movement?
Well, I won't call it as a movement, but it's like personal interest. And like a year and a half ago, I have been taking classical music lessons for last 4 or 5 years. And one of my teacher and I just chatted, why not we apply this music to heal the patients or heal, emotions basically. So that transpired, and then I formed the company in 24, late 24. Mhm.
How do you determine what kind of music works for each patient?
Uh, Basically, we have a patient assessment form designed on our, it's on patient portal on our website. So the patient fills in the information, some biodata of a person, and then they also give the like disease description, how long, and is it chronic or is it just occurred kind of thing. Then we ask their music interest, what kind of music they like, instrumental, vocal, or combination of both. So that triggers our action. Basically, music therapy is nothing but emotional healing, and emotional healing being the music as a stimulus provides, wavelength, through the neurotransmitter in human brain cells that carries the signal through the nerve system in the body, and that vibration creates, activates various energy center in the human body that generates a hormone. So basically, harmonic flow balance. Uh, that harmonic flow affects the human emotions. So whatever negative emotion a human being has are neutralized by positive vibration created by Hindustani classical music.
What kind of instruments do you use in the music therapy sessions?
Well, in the music therapy session, we use primarily pre-recorded music, Hindustani classical music. It can be in form of instrumental, or it can be both combination of instrumental and vocal. Uh, Particularly all Hindustani classical instruments, like sitar, veena, violin, uh, and for rhythmic pattern, like tabla or mridang are used uh, to generate the music.
How many international branches do you have?
We don't have such international branches. We just are in front stage of the like company. So we just like establishing ourselves. But we have connections in India with the music people and also with the medical institution like hospitals. So we are establishing the contacts.
How do you determine the right music therapist?
The right music therapist, like it depends on, because I myself took a music therapist course that was offered by a lady in Bangalore, like that is approved by government of India under skill development project. So that lady teaches the music therapy and gives the certificate. So I got the certificate. Similarly, in USA, there is the American Music Therapy Association, and they also run the training courses for music therapists. So basically, that training determines the therapist, but then practice is like a more important, like how it depends on the experience of the people. But the music therapy is prevailing in America as well as in India in medical institutions.
What challenges did you face when starting up this whole music therapy?
The
I guess.
challenges is more of like challenges to myself, to learn more, because I'm not a either medical person or I would say sort of music lover, but not a music creator person. So the challenge is I have to learn both sciences, which I have been doing, and also like from the patient perspective, we have already started and giving out music therapy to some people. The seriousness of people is a challenge, to motivate them to adhere to the given specific schedule, that they should listen to. So that is a major challenge. So I myself is a challenge to myself as well. The patient like dedication or commitment is a challenge.
Can you share a moment where you saw music therapy making a difference for someone?
Well, for that matter, I would take my own example, like as I stated earlier, that any given stress situation, I just start playing music. I go downstairs in my basement, I have instruments there, and I just play something, okay? And that heals or that like removes me from all other things, and I remain focused on the music, and it creates a healing pattern. So I think that's how it helps me.
What's the most rewarding part of owning music therapy company?
Well, the, from business perspective, yeah, I mean this is a new, I mean old science, but in practice now coming lately, and there are a lot of people are focusing in this effort, and like National Institute of Health has many research paper and studies, database that is available that how music therapy is healing the diseases or emotional, improvement, enhancement.
How can you spread more awareness for music therapy?
We plan to go on social media just for my personal own company, and we also trying to associate with senior groups, and we even educate institutions, like hospitals, like who are hospital administrators. Uh, so, I mean, basically social media and social groups at engagement to
Is
spread.
there a specific age range for your patients?
No, there is no age age. It's a emotional healing basically. So anybody who has emotion disorder and that results in a disease because of the chemical imbalance in the body. So we provide like like positive what you call stimulus to negate the negative emotions.
What kind of subjects do you have to learn in order to really understand music therapy?
Well, our approach is based on medical science and music. So it's having some knowledge about neurology or nerve system, how it works in the body, human body. So you need to have some medical understanding and neurology. And also you have to have musicology, so basically understanding of Hindustani classical music, like all these swaras arrangement, like seven basic notes, sharp notes and komal notes and all that. Then you have to have understanding of aro, avro, pakad, in Indian musical instruments, and ragas. Ragas are based on rasa. Like there are 9 rasa in Hindustani classical music, and each rasa is associated with a raga, a group of ragas. And all these ragas generate the emotion, or we call rasa. So all this knowledge is required to do a better job for this kind of raga music therapy.
Can you please explain each raga in like simple words?
No, basically, there are thousands of raga, so it's very difficult to explain each raga. But like very commonly known raga called Yaman, which is using all 7 notes. So it can be used for all different various emotions. Even one raga can be used for different emotions. It all depends on how, like the notes are emphasized, but raga has, as I told you, like 2 basic notes. They call it Vadi and Samvadi, the primary note and secondary note. Then it has a pakat. So each raga, how you identify the raga. So there are some selection of the notes combined to get the feel for that raga. So then in musicology, they call it chota khayal, bada khayal, then alapi. All these things are combining into a session of presentation of a raga.
How do you see the growth of music therapy in the upcoming years?
Well, unlike medical science, this music science and studies and data are not as prevailing. But lately, based on my own experience, I have seen a lot of people are taking interest. Even some top-notch Indian musicians are also promoting, raga as a healing, like a medicine for treating our patients and all that. If you have heard this young guy named Rikiram Sharma, he is the last disciple of Pandit Sri Ravi Shankar, who was a world-renowned sitarist player, and he is promoting sitar music as a mental, healing mental diseases and all that. So this kind of young generation stepping in, opens the door for more opportunities.
How do you think you can influence like the younger generation to like really look into music therapy because it's not very well known?
Uh, Basically, education is, like our goal is not like that. We have twofold objectives. One is to have like a treatment part, and secondly is the education. So we I'm personally, my company also will be looking into opportunity to associate with educational institution to establish a curriculum for music therapy courses. Since I personally took the course, so I know basically what is required from my learning. So, and I have contacts who can help, to expel this, to have a curriculum in the institution to learn about music therapy, Hindustani classical music therapy.
Are there certain requirements to like when you're picking your music therapist?
Uh, Therapists, yes. When we want to pick a therapist, a person has to have knowledge of some science, like neurology and human body, like an energy center and music, classical music, what raga is, what makes, what constitutes, the structural approach of learning or understanding ragas.
What's the most popular song among the patients and why?
Well, for my personal experience, there is a song sung by our beloved Rafi Saab. I can sing a first line, just मन रे तू काहे न धीर धरे ओ निर्मोही मोह न जाने इनका मोह करे. So this particular song is about calming down the mind. It's based on very popular raga, as I stated earlier, Yaman, and it's a basic raga in music. And this states, like for mind, our mind goes through several thought processes at a given time. And calming down the mind, is very important, because if your mind is too active, it causes you stress, and all this stress propagates into harmonic imbalance, chemical imbalance in the body, and generates negative emotion, like fatigue, tired, sleeplessness, all those things. So this particular song gives a very nice music. It's a very nicely made song. The lyrics are important also, as well as the music part, instrumental part. It also stimulates right rasas to heal. Rasa
Um,
means emotion. If you want to understand, rasa is emotion.
can you please translate the verse that you sang?
So man re tu kahe na dheer dhare. So it is stated that my mind should be very peaceful, and we don't like have attachment, like oh nirmohi mohana jane. So tu nirmohi means you, my, like it's just like basically in our Jainism, right? You like have to should have no attachment, and you should not be attached with the things. You should be independent. So like Jain principles are also embedded in this. O nirmohi mohana jane kinka moh kare. You don't want to know about like attachment. So why you should be attached? So detachment, is basically, and when we say detachment means you go inner to your own soul. Okay, examine your own soul, like we call Atma. So Jain philosophy is very well embedded in these lines.
What motivated you to keep going?
Well, my lack of knowledge is my motivator basically. Since there is a lot to learn in this, and every day I wake up and I try to learn more. So, and I'm using the AI tools now. There is a lot of information available on AI tools, and on regular basis. I have many database in last several months. I'm created, and I have a lot of topics covered. And I am in fact, I'm in process of writing some books on music therapy.
What are the books about exactly?
The books about like there is one book for wellness. Like even though you don't have any disease, you still can maintain the wellness in the body, practicing this Raaga Music Therapy. That is one book. Lately, there has been buzzword about gut health. Gut health means our digestive health, and mind and gut health are connected. They call gut health as a second mind, because as we all know, mind is a very active organ in the body that goes through always, wavering thought processes, and creates a lot of different emotions. So digestive system and mind are interrelated, for the emotional quotient of a person. So that is another book that I'm thinking of, gut health. And in general, the master book that I'm working on is book explaining all this Raga music therapy, So both science is medical science and also music science, and what is involved in both. Then also like treatment protocol for each of the disease that human body can have. So that will be the master book. So these are the, in some form or the other, are already existing now. I'm trying to compile and enhance it, by putting more content. Therapy session, basically, once the music is given, then we prepare, like the patient is given instruction and to have particular kind of, instrument to listen to the music, like headphone or proper. And you have to have proper posture, sit down in a quiet place and chant, like Om. Basically, Om is chanting. Chanting also, there is a lot of uh, work done for chanting that gives also calming down emotions and helps concentrate on to things that you want to do. Uh, so chanting, we prep, basically prep the patient to listen to the music. Then they listen for a prescribed time. Usually the time can range from like 15 minutes to 30 minutes, at most. And we prescribe three different session, like morning session, afternoon session, and the night session. The raga is associated with time. So morning raga, the morning music will be different than afternoon raga or music, and also at night raga and music. So raga is tied up with a unique time for the day. So this protocol, after they finish, we expect them to like give us the feedback. So we are working on generating or creating software tools to get patient real time in feedback or surveys.
How many times does the patient meet, like, with the therapist each week?
Well, this is not like therapy is meant to take at home. Like the therapist doesn't have to be there, but there are, like, if you are inpatient or like in the hospital, then it is a different environment where person or therapist can monitor, how the patient is taking. But most of it is like a take home kind of thing. So just like you patient, doctor prescribes you the medicine, so we prescribe the music. You go home and take like whatever session we have prescribed, morning, afternoon, or night. We are in early stages, so this is a more of like spreading words, establishing the credibility and all that. So it will take some time, but we are talking to the USA doctors. Like one doctor practicing here in Northern Virginia has agreed to take participate in a study. So they will give us some patients that whom they are treating.
Does your practice offer any internship opportunities to gain experience? Are you guys planning to offer any, like, internship or volunteer opportunities in the future? Can you give a rough estimate of how many patients you have so far?
Well, right now, as we just started, we have about 6, 7 people who have taken this therapy, and we want to I'm going to senior groups. I'm talking to the doctors.
How do you measure the effectiveness and progress of your sessions? Any advice for people who want to pursue this career?
Right? M. You got it?
Yeah.
Sweet candy. So it can be good to have both, medical knowledge and music knowledge that can rejuvenate one person's itself.
How do you explain music therapy to when you're like going out pitching your business idea?
Neurotransmitters that goes through the vagus nerve and spreads across all the body nerve system, and stimulus generates the proper flow of the hormones to create the positive emotion. Okay.
What do you like most about being a music therapist? What was the like how do you collaborate with other therapists?
Well, we have not yet gone to that stage. We are since we are in early development. Our challenge would be more for like when we go to the Western audience or U.S. patients, American patients. We will have to know also how our classical music correlates to the pentatonic structure or music structure of Western music. So there is a correlation also. Western music also has 7 notes. So how the raga interpretation is done in that music will be a challenge. But it will be interesting to find out.
So you guys use Western and Indian classical?
No, right now we have Indian classical only. We're going to promote as Indian classical, but we will try to find out correlations. Yeah. And that is requires by knowledge too, and that is by itself is a motivating factor, to learn more.
What are your core values for this whole
The core value would be motivation, continued interest, learning more, like having like a knowledge of music and knowledge of science, medical science. Those are the two core values you have to have.
What is
So
your approach to like each client?
each client,
Yeah, like some may have different medical
yes.
like what's your
Yeah.
like approach? Like how do you
Basically, as I stated earlier, when we do patient assessment, we get, like to know the disease and the emotions that they are having, and if there is a pain or if there is a fatigue or if there is a stress, anxiety, all those emotions we ask in questionnaires. And then we have internal evaluation, the numbering system that we have a team of doctors and musicians also evaluating this. So based on that, we determine what music to give.
um what's your personal like opinion on music therapy?
Well, for me, at such a later age, I find it very satisfying, challenging, educating, learning, like experience. And if people like you at early age think of this and get into this, has a lot of good opportunity to learn both sciences. See, the classical music approach is not only for medicine, medical field. There are various sciences, other sciences like Ayurveda, like astrology, and all that are also connected to music, classical music approach. But right now we are focusing on medical science.
So
So
your
there's a
main
lot to
focus.
learn. There is a lot to learn. Like when I took the course, in the course they taught all these how all these zodiac, like all birth time and all that, or grahas and all that, how it affects your human profile. You know, then from Ayurvedic point of view, the three basic doshas, like Vata, Pitta, Kapha, those how it creates like defines the person profile. So based on that, the music therapy is to be designed.
What are your strengths and weaknesses?
Well, my strength is my desire to learn, and my weakness is I, I don't have enough knowledge, but I'm gaining and getting people interested, and they're making studies on the treatment, and their like outcome will determine like how effective all this. So it will keep us going. I am very young. I mean, late in the age, but if the people like you, step in and follow this, as educational and then eventually practicing music therapy, will grow this. I mean, help growth in this field.
What's your favorite part about music therapy?
The favorite part is deciding what raga to use, what treatment. Like that is a most important thing. And raga is nothing but notes that generate certain emotions to treat negative emotion in the body that are the cause of disease.
What helped you get motivated to like find people to help you with developing the music therapy business?
Well, what I found that people are very receptive of the idea that have floated because everybody has one form or the other conditions, and no matter young or old, everybody has stress level of some sort. So we design like a wellness module. So in wellness module, we regulate the basic emotions, through the brain or through the gut health and all that. So you have to have cardiac rhythmic pattern, in breathing and all that. So that is wellness is most important. Not, I mean, before you even get into disease, this is like prevention is better than cure. So you just follow the wellness, and there are various ways people are nowadays doing. Like physical exercising, meditations, yoga, and all that. But we differ in a way because this is more structured musical approach with the notes that generates emotion.
What AI tools do you guys use?
Well, lately I have been using all three, like there's a Chat GPT, I'm using Gemini. Very rarely I use Copilot and all that. But lately I found there is another AI tool, AI Fiesta, that has like connection to the all different cloud system of various AI tools like ChatGPT or Gemini or DeepSeek, the Chinese AI tool, DeepSeek. So Fiesta is not yet that popular, but the most popular, as we all know, is AI ChatGPT, right?
What's it like when you listen to the music to like calm yourself down?
It's basically quality of the music depends, like. But my focus, like I have to be a good receptor, like in order to for anything to happen, you have to be willing, like you have to have a faith. It's just so like basically you have to have faith, you know, in this approach.
What is the biggest challenge that your team faced?
Uh, right now, like promoting ourselves and then recruiting the patient. Those are the two major challenges, and we are working on both.
How do you think you can further reach like the younger generation, like raise awareness about music therapy?
I think this podcast that you have created by itself is a tool that we can use to engage young generation. Uh, so I think, yeah, and promoting wellness. because wellness applies to almost everybody, regardless of age.
What educational background do you have regarding,
You about me personally or in
yeah, like
general?
any college courses you took?
No, I just took music course. Like I learned music of my own, through a teacher. Like one time, like for a year and a half, almost a teacher used to come my home and teach me while I was working at IBM. But lately, like last year, for music therapy, particularly for classical music therapy course, I took through a lady in Bangalore, as I stated, Dr. Karuna Nagarajan, and that was an online course. She offers it. She has students worldwide.
What impact do you think you can make on the community?
Well, everybody loves music, so we want to just divert that into specific raga music, uh, and that melodic structure not only pleases them but also treats them. So I think whomever I talk to gets interested, but implementing or practicing is a challenge.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. It will help our listeners to have a different perspective, and this will help raise more awareness about music therapy as it's not a common practice. And this will inspire a lot of future music therapists. Thank you.
Yeah, I thank you too for having me this opportunity and helping me in promoting music therapy.